Okay, welcome everybody. I'm Allison,
I'm Marcelle,
and this is Food.
not food.
We've been podcasting now for a little while, but we have stepped up our game. We were all audio podcast, and now we are video podcasting.
Yes, I'm
So you
sure
can
both our listeners will be very excited.
you can
Yeah.
see our faces and our things and stuff in our background.
Yeah.
So, well, welcome. We have a lot of things that we could talk about today, a lot of things going on. Marcelle, do you want to give a little
Yeah.
background on who we are?
Yeah, sure. I want to remind everybody that Food Not Food podcast is kind of kicked off from our book, Food Not Food, A Visual Journey of Real Foods and Their Lookalikes. And it's a book where we focus on pictures of beautiful natural foods alongside artificial processed foods with lots of ingredients. We compare the ingredients, and it's a really fun photo book.
And for those of you
So
playing along, it is behind Marcelle.
that's
You can
it.
see a picture
Food
of
Not
it.
Food.
There's the
Yeah.
front cover of Food Not Food.
Food Not Food.
There it is.
Yeah, I'll show you the
Also now in
apple.
Spanish, comida no comida.
See.
So there's, yes.
That's what the book light is like. Picture of a beautiful apple next to a beautiful candy apple and comparing those ingredients, which are not so beautiful with
Right.
artificial colors and all of that stuff. So that's the book. We want to say up front, we are not nutritionists. We are not
Yes.
medical professionals. This is not medical advice or nutritional advice. This is
No.
just two people navigating the food landscape together and
Yes. So
having a
we
little bit
are,
of fun
yeah,
with
so
it.
we are longtime foodies, longtime besties. We've been swapping recipes for a billion years, and we both lived, growing up in Hollywood. Of course, you cannot avoid diet culture. Anything entertainment business is also diet culture. So we both grew up in diet culture mindset. And so we talk about that in terms of what that does to your body and your psyche. Um, but also how funny it is and the irony of nutrition, a nutrition slash diet slash um, body image culture that Hollywood can be.
Right. And whether or not the foods in our pantry help us in this journey at all. One thing that we were going to do kind of fun today is Alice and I each picked out something out of our pantry that has 6 ingredients or less.
Yes.
Um, so I will share that I have Trader Joe's peanut butter and ingredients, roasted peanuts. And I love this, contains peanut.
I know they legally have to tell you.
Absolutely a nation of idiots. We're a nation of idiots. And then I also had almond butter, by the way, crunchy, which I love. And the ingredients here were almonds and salt.
Now, isn't it funny if that
Warning
said,
may contain nuts.
yeah,
So,
right.
so
Well,
that's what I've got.
to be fair, I'm glad they have that, for things that don't seem to have nuts in them. People who are allergic need to
Right.
know. Although if it's called nuts, it probably, I would hope it has nuts in it.
Yeah,
So,
right. In America, it may not,
yeah,
nut or butter. I don't know if there's, Butterfinger. Is there any nut in a Butterfinger? Are they supposed to be peanuts?
I don't I don't know.
What the
Let's
hell is
hope
in
there's
a
no fingers
Butterfinger?
in it.
All right, I'm gonna get a Butterfinger this week. And
I think that was just your excuse to go buy
no,
Butterfingers.
really, no, they're very sticky. I don't like them. They
Oh,
stick to my teeth. I might not even eat it, but I'll get one and we'll share it next time.
okay,
So tell me
okay.
what have you got?
Okay,
What did
so
you
I tried
find?
to find something that was not necessarily like a health conscious food because I do have a lot of those, and it's like I have a plastic Ziploc packaging for oat bran, organic oat bran, and you turn over and it says ingredients, organic oat bran. Well, that's no fun. So I went for something that's one of my husband's favorite. My husband's a chocoholic. So one of his favorites, also Trader Joe's. No, we are not endorsed by them, but yes, we would love to be. Um, Organic Midnight Moo, which is their version of chocolate syrup, to put in, make chocolate milk or put over sundaes or whatever. And so the ingredients here, organic cane sugar, water, organic cocoa powder processed with alkali, organic tapioca syrup, salt, and lactic acid. And so most the difference obviously when I look at ingredients, I'm looking for, the baddies, right? Does it have high fructose corn syrup? Does it have hydrogenated oils, partially hydrogenated oils? Does it have things that end in ose, like or all
Sucralose, like the artificial stuff.
artificial sweeteners and the sugar alcohols, the things that
Mhm.
end in like xylitol, anything that ends in tol is a sugar alcohol. Anything that ends in tose is a version of sugar.
Right.
There are other versions of sugar too, but I tend to look for those little secret culprits, like after they say um uh syrup, they say sugar, cornstarch, corn syrup, sucralose. If there's 7 different versions of sweeteners in it, you have to wonder what is the taste of all that.
Right.
And actually, that brings me to an interesting point about this particular Midnight Moo stuff. So I was looking for a good chocolate milk because my husband, like I say, is a chocoholic, and he usually just mixes this with the Fairlife fat-free milk, which is good because it's lower sugar, higher protein. It's a great choice. It's also really pricey, and it keeps going up. So I thought, well, there's one chocolate milk that has decent stuff in it that we found, which is called True Moo. But for some reason, it's hard to get the low fat version of it anymore. You can only find the whole milk version, except like there's one place that says they have it, and then they're always out of it. So I'm thinking, okay, there must be some other chocolate milk out there that doesn't have disgusting things in it. Well, no, I cannot find any chocolate milk out there in a decent size, like, family container, whatever, that doesn't have 7 different versions of sugar in it. And here's the kicker, like some of it, the second ingredient is a sugar of some sort. And then later on down the list, there's sucralose in it. Like if you're going to have sugar, why also
Yeah.
have
Why do you need both
sucralose?
of those?
Right. And here's the sad thing, even Fairlife, they have their own chocolate milk. They have sucralose in it.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Is that the milk that's ultra pasteurized or
It's
ultra filtered?
ultra
Okay.
filtered, so it's higher protein and lower sugar.
Okay.
Um, that's it. So that's all I use when I use milk for anything. But
Yeah.
I was so sad that their chocolate milk even has sucralose in it. So I have not found another chocolate milk that doesn't have 4 different kinds of sweeteners in it,
Right.
artificial and unartificial. So we're back to the Midnight Moo.
Back to the Midnight Moo. Well, good. All
There's
right.
my
I
my
love it.
chocolate story.
Right. Well, I mean, I haven't always been really that interested in ingredients. Um, I hardly ever look. And now we're looking and it's just weird. It's like,
Well,
what am I eating?
I think, so if you haven't been listening to this podcast before, the impetus for this started with a conversation I had had with some students when I was teaching at a university. I work in theater. I'm a director, I'm an actor, a writer, all those things. And I was working with theater students, and I gave them a dinner break, and they came back with food. And some of them came back with things I don't call food. So I thought they were going to bring back food, and they would bring back, Skittles and Pepsi for their dinner, or a giant box of Lucky Charms for dinner. And so this started this comparison of what is food and what I would call not food. Again, we're not nutritionists, we're not the FDA, but I don't call them food. So there was food and not food. And when I told Marcella about that, she thought, oh my God, what a great idea. I always said maybe I'll make a book someday. She's like, no, it's now.
Yeah. So we're
And
making a book
she
out of
went off
this.
and found a bunch of other examples that I hadn't thought of, and the book was born. But anyway, the point is, it started a conversation about ingredients and some of the things that are in your pantry right now. And you look at the ingredients, you're like, what are those things?
Yeah.
Just these mystery chemicals and artificial flavors. And even when they say natural flavors, what does that mean?
Right. Natural flavors like natural vanilla,
Yeah.
right? What, shall we talk? We don't want to talk about that?
National. Oh, you mean imitation vanilla flavor?
The the beaver anal
Yeah.
gland
Yeah.
excretion.
Yeah. What the
Yeah.
heck?
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
on the internet. Again, it's got to be true.
So,
So,
yeah, so natural flavor could be crushed insects. It's just natural source, doesn't tell you anything about what, whether you really want to be ingesting that thing or not.
Right. Right.
Um, so anyway, that started us on an ongoing conversation about ingredients.
Right. And again, we're
And
not nutritionists, right? We're not we're
no,
not experts
no,
in this field,
but
but we
it,
can talk a little bit about, because you had mentioned to me earlier about, that you were doing some looking at your health and your calorie intake and getting healthy. And so, tell me about what you did and kind of what you
oh
found out
yeah.
about that.
So, just a little background. I've been on a diet since I was probably 4. Again, Hollywood diet culture. I've been overweight my whole life. Both my parents are overweight. I've been struggling on that weight journey. I don't think I've ever consciously remembered not being on a diet of some sort. And so, over my lifetime, whatever, lost and gained like everybody else does. But I had at one point actually weighed over 100 pounds more than I weigh now. And so it's a long journey. But because, there was a long time where we were all told, eat less, move more, as a simplified version of how you can get down to an ideal weight.
Yeah,
But
everybody's still talking about
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I mean, Instagram is all about calorie deficit. That's all we ever hear about.
Right, right. But the truth of the matter is that does work for a time. But if you are a serial dieter, which many people are, because we all know diets don't really work, they work for a short time and then you get off and they come back and it goes back and forth. If you're a serial dieter, after a certain point, you cannot move any more and eat any less without damaging your body. And so that's what was happening to me. So I was told I was overtraining, I was under eating, and I had been doing it for decades.
This is something that you just found, like you just discovered, right?
Over the past year, I was basically
Hmm.
I went to get what they call a Sika analysis, and I can't tell you what Sika stands for, except that it's like a full body analysis that tells your how much water, how much muscle, how much fat, how much whatever is in your body for them to recommend like what you can do. Oh, you need more protein. Oh, you need to do strength training. Oh, you need more water or whatever, those kinds of things. So I had one back in August. I just had another one like 2 weeks ago to see like the difference. And so I had been told, back in August, whatever it was, I was overtraining. They're like, stop working out so hard. Stop only eating 1,200 calories. Now, if you can see me on the video, you can see I'm overweight. I've been overweight my whole life. I've been a lot more overweight than I am now, but I'm also healthy in terms of like my muscle, increased muscle. All my, blood pressure and heart rate and all those things are cholesterol. All those things are healthy numbers. So I've overtrained my body, and it turned out I was working out so much that I was actually um, instead of losing fat, I was losing muscle. And so my body could no longer lose the fat because I had just been over dieted, basically. So I was told to do what they call a reverse diet, which
Reverse
is,
diet.
yes, reverse diet,
Okay.
which is exactly what it sounds like. It
Eat more,
means eat
move
more
less.
food and move
Okay.
less.
Okay. This is going to be great news for a lot
I
of people. So
And
please
I'm
tell
not
us
the
about
only
this.
one.
How does
I
this
mean,
work?
so I think what happens is over time, if you diet, if you deprive your body of the actual nutrients that it needs for too long and you work out too long, your metabolism, you basically burn it out and it's done. And that's why you hit a plateau. Again, I'm not a dietitian, I'm not a nutritionist. This is my own personal journey with it. And so I was told, basically I burned it out. I could not get lower than a certain weight because I was, instead of building muscle, I was tearing down muscle.
Mhm.
Instead of losing fat, I was losing water and muscle every time I worked out. So, and I was living on 1,200 calories. And that meant that my body was so used to that kind of starvation mode that it would store fat like crazy because it thought I was starving for
Right.
25 years. And if you look at me, I am definitely not starving.
I mean,
So
so this is new information
So it's
for you.
I think it's new information for me. It's also new information in the nutrition world, which is the admission that it's not that simple.
Right.
It's not just eat less, move more. That works for a time and then it stops working. and then it actually works to your detriment. So here I am. Finally I got with a nutritionist who, after the second Seek analysis, this is what I've learned last week. She says, first of all, you cannot do 1,200 calories. If you want to burn fat, number one, you have to eat almost 1,900 calories in a day. What? She said recommended 130 grams of protein a day. And I don't eat red meat, so good luck with that.
Wow.
And 120 ounces of water a day. That's 10, 12-ounce glasses of water a day.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. I could just spend my whole day eating,
And
drinking,
peeing.
and
I mean, I don't
peeing,
understand. I mean, could the
right?
kidney really process that? Like, that doesn't sound good to me.
Well, obviously don't drink it all in one sitting, but yeah.
I mean, how do
So
you leave the house? I don't
this
understand.
is what I'm
I don't
saying.
think I could
This
do
is
it.
this is what I'm saying. So, I mean, also I need to add another strength training day. I need to add more weights to my workouts. I need to do, all these new adjustments just because your body gets used to and adapts to whatever you were doing. So I was
Right.
doing something and it stopped, something else and it stopped, something. So this my latest journey was that I lost 20 pounds. I lost 3 inches off my waist, 2 inches off my hips. Everything was great. And then it all stops. Your body adapts, and my body adapts really quickly. And so now this is like, in order to actually lose the fat now, that's what I have to do. And it's just like, for me to eat 1,845 calories is what she said in
Yeah.
a day, right? That's three 500-calorie meals plus two snacks that are almost 200 calories each. I don't have time for that.
That's like a totally different
It's
routine
crazy.
than
Yeah.
what you've been used to,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, and so my workouts are different, my food is different. I have to think about, and I hate having to obsess about numbers, and I don't want to do calorie counting. I don't want to do food logs. I don't want to take up all of our podcast on dieting and stuff, but it's just, I am not the only one. I've had this conversation with several other people that I know who have had ongoing challenges with weight loss, some of which don't really need to be losing very much weight at all, but they're still in
Right.
their mind think they have to do that. I'm looking at you, Marcelle, because you have like you have a you I don't see any fat on you at all. You keep telling me about this 10 pounds you have to lose, and I'm like, where from? Get a haircut.
It's
There's your 10
there.
pounds.
No, it's absolutely there. I know. I even thought about shaving my legs the other day. I think I lost 2.5 pounds from that. But no, really, it's the same. And it seems like the same 10 pounds,
Yeah.
but I don't know. And it wasn't even like COVID. I can't make excuses and say, oh, yeah, you're drinking the
I'm
water.
sorry, I'm pointing to my 16-ounce glass of water.
I know
This
you're
is
gonna need
my third one
diapers.
for the day already.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm still on my same cup of coffee and it's already,
Mm,
1 o'clock or something. But
sorry, but yeah, everybody has it. Everybody has that mindset of the
yeah,
dieting, and everybody else. So many people are in that extreme calorie deficit
right.
that's
No,
just not good for you.
I can't do it. I can't, I mean I could. I won't, I guess is what it. I'm not there, there's so much I'm not willing to do. I haven't figured out yet what I'm willing to do to get the effect that I want. And I think part of it is the lack of confidence.
Mm,
This person says this and that person says the other thing.
yeah.
And you have to kind of sit, whatever you choose probably will work for a time. And
Yes.
what are you willing to do that you can sustain for a month, 2 months, 3 months to get the effect that you're looking for, how you want to feel? So
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
And
for
then
me, it's commitment issue. I
even
have
after those
commitment
couple of
issues.
months are over, though, if you stop doing whatever that thing is, at some point it'll come back. And
Right.
and then on the other side, if you keep doing that, at some point it'll stop working.
Right.
So it's a continual challenge to figure it out. I've been eating healthy foods, a portion control, dense nutrient foods for a long time. If listen, if you're eating uh, a large order of French fries every day, it's really easy to get your 1,800 calories. You can pretty much get them in one sitting if you go to Cheesecake Factory. But if you if you're already eating like, I'm living on, non-fat Greek yogurt, fresh fruit,
Hmm.
um, sprouted grain bread, lean chicken, lean ground turkey. This is already what I'm living on. I
Yeah,
like,
I mean, just you listing off those foods,
mhm.
in that moment, I felt the joy of eating leave my body. Like, I think I'm cured. I actually, I actually do. I felt a shift. I felt a quantum shift.
Well, don't get me wrong, I'm not eating foods I hate. I've actually learned to really, really love fresh roasted vegetables, and I always have fresh fruit in the house. I always have stuff cut and ready to go for munching, red peppers and cucumbers and snap peas, and I actually enjoy it. It's not like some punishment. It's just really impossible for me to think about getting to 1,845 calories eating that stuff.
Right,
I basically have to add another meal to
right.
my day is what I have to do.
Yeah, and you don't eat red meat, so that's
I don't eat red meat because for the saturated fat. I keep my
hmm
cholesterol down because it was high at one point, and I stopped eating red meat, and it went down, and I want to keep it there.
right.
And so, and also, my husband's not real thrilled about eating mammals, as he says. He's not real thrilled about eating mammals. So we just like decided just not to do it anymore. Um, so it's a challenge now.
Okay, so
I have to I
keep
have to
up the
eat more
good work.
food.
We're going to check in another 2 or 3 months and see if this is that after you've
Yeah.
done it for 2 years, maybe I'll try it. It's
I'm
kind of
not
how
sitting
I
down.
operate.
I'm not going to sit down and eat 7 heads of broccoli. It's not happening.
Oh my God, I've sworn off
But
broccoli. Even remember that episode on The Simpsons? You watch The Simpsons?
I used to, not all the time, but yeah.
Remember the episode? Well, there's an episode where Homer Simpson chokes on a piece of broccoli,
Oh, I don't know that one.
right? Yeah, and the doctor says, "Don't you know broccoli can kill you? It tries to warn you with its, horrible smell and terrible taste." Something like
There is
that.
an episode, and now I'm totally dating myself. But to be fair, I one of my hobbies is to find old sitcoms and watch them old stuff. So I went through all the like Mary Tyler Moore, Rhoda, Phyllis, those things. So Rhoda has an episode where her doctor tells her she's ecstatic. She's been dieting her whole life. The Rhoda thing is always been. She's ecstatic because her doctor told her that the thing that was causing her so much distress that she should no longer eat anymore was cottage cheese. And she
Wow.
was so happy she jumps up in the air and freezes at the end because I can't eat cottage cheese.
I know. What is up with the cottage cheese? Well, we had a book that was called, I don't know, Eat Yourself Thin, something like
Mm,
that.
mm.
When I was 9, that was the book that was in the house.
Yeah.
And I remember like the perfect meal was a hamburger patty
Yes.
and a sliced tomato and a scoop of cottage cheese.
Yes. And Jello and sugar-free Jello. Oh, oh, this is such a perfect time for us to be doing a video version because for those who aren't actually seeing the video, Marcelle is holding up a book called Joys of Jello.
Right.
I am not
Joyce.
a Jello fan.
Is this the greatest book though? This this is the greatest. I
Ah.
mean, come on, who wouldn't
Oh my
really?
God. A
I was
five-layer Jello cake.
5 layer Jello cake. So the Joys of Jello is this nifty little pamphlet with color photos with recipes that my
Wow.
grandmother got in the 60s. You probably had to save, like 5 box tops or something. And you send money for shipping and handling and you get this book. And here's a beautiful one. It's a picture of a yellow cake with like canned peaches
Oh, they're in gelatin.
in
Wow.
gelatin. Everything's suspended in Jello mold.
Now, to be fair,
This
on the West Coast, we do not have that tradition of putting things in our Jello like they do like down South. I lived in the South and they put, canned fruit, sometimes even put savory things in it. They put like peas and things in it too. But they put stuff in it. They also add sour cream or sometimes they add mayonnaise or so and interestingly enough, they call it a salad.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't have
Here's
that on the West Coast so much.
no, I mean here's ring around the tuna. I mean,
Wow.
imagine a green Jello mold with tuna fish and whole olives filled with
Oh,
pimentos floating in green Jello.
I think I just got a little nauseous. Wow.
Isn't that crazy? It's crazy. I love this book though. My mom used to put cottage cheese in green Jello.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember cottage cheese and green Jello.
I kind of like it.
Do
I'm
you?
sure I didn't as a kid. That I don't
I'm
know.
not a huge Jello fan. I
Really?
don't know why. And I mean, I can eat it once in a while. It's fine. But my mom used to love Jello. She was like,
Yeah, we
orange Jello was her thing. And I was just like, I'm gonna pass. I'm like, the calories and the sugar, not worth it for me. I would definitely save those for something else.
yeah, we had Jello in the house all the time.
Did you really? I don't
All the
remember
time.
that. Was I ever there for Jello? I don't remember having Jello at your
I don't know. There was
house.
just I feel like there was always Jello. I remember one year my mom she tried to make custom Jello.
Oh, you
Like
mean like homemade?
yeah, like with gelatin. I don't even know why she would have had that in the house. It was weird.
Huh.
But she's like, "Oh, I made apple Jello."
How was it?
Terrible. My mom's such a great cook too, but like that was an epic fail.
Well, I think in our house, because it was always diet culture, probably I had one too many sugar-free Jello desserts and they just tasted disgusting. And it probably just turned me off of the whole idea of Jello. Like
That
I
could
just
be, yeah.
combined the idea of that chemical sweet with that
Hmm.
chemical color flavor thing. It just
Yeah.
doesn't seem like it's in nature. So, like this is not a real thing. And if
No.
I saw something that was green and wiggly and semi-solid in nature, I would definitely not eat it.
I know they look so pretty though, you know?
No, they are. They're pretty. The light comes through, and I get that. I get
Yeah,
that.
they're beautiful.
Yeah. I just not a big fan. You know what it is? It's really the artificial flavors. I have
Yeah.
never liked like fruit flavored things like grape, even like grape lifesavers or like fruit pies that are,
Yeah, we talked about this before. Remember, I asked you
yeah.
if in school if you had like the scented markers, the fruit
Oh, I
scented markers.
hated those.
Love those. Like banana now and laters.
Oh no.
Remember the now and later, the
Yeah, hated those.
candy?
Hated
Love
them.
it.
I
Still love it.
never liked those artificial fruit flavor things.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, like I think I've said this before, my favorite fruit pie was chocolate. The chocolate fruit pie was my
Oh,
favorite one. It used to crack me up. There were Hostess fruit pies, and this was chocolate. You're like, it's not a fruit, but it's fine. I'll eat that one.
yeah. I don't think there's as much fruit in them as there used to be, but you didn't eat them anyway. But like, I always love the cherry pie.
Oh
And it's
yeah.
just, it's all, and now it's like a gelatin
It's just goo.
in a sugar pastry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goo pie.
Yeah. It's not so great.
Yeah.
Definitely not so great. But,
Yeah. So, interestingly, talking about like processed foods and ingredients and all that, so if you've listened to us before, as I said, I I used to be an actor and then I moved on. I'm a director, writer, producer, those things, but I've recently gone back to acting in musicals, having a blast, kicking my butt. They're so exhausting. But recently opened a production of Sound of Music, and it's a very long show, and when you're doing the technical rehearsals and dress rehearsals and all that, it's a lot of hours. And people bring food with them to eat, on the breaks and everything, especially on a two-show day. And I'm always amazed by what people bring to eat. Some of it is definitely food, some of it is definitely not food. And especially with musicals, there are a lot of younger people in musicals, college age kids and like that. And we all know what a college age kid, what their diet usually consists of, an awful lot of processed foods. It's just part of the culture of college food. Um, But some of it I'd never even heard of, and they were all like, "Oh, I love that whatever thing. Oh, that's my favorite. What flavor do you like?" And it's some packaged candy thing that I have no idea what it was. I'm like, I
wow.
don't know what's in it. I don't know what it's made of. I don't. And they all seem to already know. I'm like, "Oh, that's my favorite pretzel. Oh, it's with this." And I took a couple of bites and I looked at the ingredients and I was like, "Holy moly,
No
what
good.
is in this? It tastes disgusting to me." But you get trained to it. you get trained to favorites like Jello, right? You either like
Right.
it or you don't. And it reminds you of your childhood. And that's one of the things in our book that's so fascinating. People are looking at the food and not food, and they realize some of their favorite childhood candies are in this book
Yeah.
that are
And
like
cereals.
in cereals and just snack items that, they really identify with. And
Right.
so the newest generation identify with different stuff, obviously, than I did. But
Yeah.
it was a challenge to actually bring like whole food to something like that. It's so much easier. Just stop on your way, stop at a market, whatever, grab a bag of this and a box of that, and always have something that you can stick your hand in the bag and grab out, a candy, a chewy
Yes, the
thing, a
convenience.
crunchy
It's
thing.
convenience food.
It's the
That's what all of this
convenience.
is. Yeah.
Exactly. And even to run and buy, a prepackaged, pre-made sandwich, and a couple people do that. And, you do what you have to do for convenience and all of that stuff. But I'm just not that, I'm not in that mode in my life. So I have to go home and like, I grill a bunch of veggies or I pre-make some chicken salad or, I made a thing with noodles and peanut sauce with, chicken breast and a bunch of veggies in it and I bought some shredded coleslaw mix, so add in there to get the veggies. And I brought that with me and I felt weird opening my container and eating that when everybody else was just pulling out their box of pretzels and their bag of whatevers. But
Right. But it's worth it. You know that food is better. You know that food is better. It's better for you and it tastes better. I
yeah,
mean,
I don't think I could live on I mean, literally this bag of pretzels, everybody loved this. I can't even remember the brand now, but everyone's like, oh my God, those are my favorite. Oh, and they were so addicted to them. And they were
those are
like,
little twisty ones.
yes.
Oh, they're delicious.
Yeah. Okay. So pull up the
Yeah.
ingredients of that. So there's MSG in them. Why would you need MSG in a pretzel?
Yeah, I don't like MSG. My
There's
grandmother used to
MSG.
cook with it. We always had accent. Didn't you have
Yeah,
accent in
right.
the
No, we
house?
didn't do that. We didn't have it. Oh,
Yeah.
we did have? I don't even
Mhm.
know what was in it. My mom used to buy this stuff called kitchen bouquet.
I used it yesterday
You did? What
on a
is in
really
it?
big fatty ribeye, as a
What's
matter of
in
fact.
it? I
I
don't even
don't know.
remember. I'll bet you it's MSG. I'll bet you it's got God knows how much sodium is in that thing.
It's
I have
just,
no idea now, but my mom used to use it in meatloaf
oh,
and
it's great.
she used to just, sprinkle it on everything.
It was a liquid. Kitchen bouquet was a
Yeah,
liquid.
yeah, it's a little
And
bottle.
yeah, it's expensive too. Yeah, I literally did that. I literally used it yesterday.
That's funny. It's kind
Yeah.
of like Worcestershire-ish kind of
Kind of sweet. It's
something.
a sweet brown
It's
gravy
yeah, concentrate.
element.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Um,
That's so
but
great. I love how like when you bring up like this is why it's food, not food.
right.
Like Allison's talking about food, and I'm like, oh, not food. Like you could bring up the
Yeah.
worst weird thing in a bottle or a bag or salty, crunchy garbage. And I'm like, oh, those things are fantastic.
Hey, she's like, I have that.
I ate that the other day.
Like she remembered those pretzels. I don't even know there.
I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing that we can like go out to lunch together.
I know.
But we
One thing
did.
we both agree on is sushi.
Both love sushi. Yeah.
We do love sushi. I love my sushi. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That is
That's
so
a
funny.
favorite. So
Well, I think yeah, with that, we'll probably wrap up soon. Um maybe we'll keep it under 45 minutes for our audience.
yeah.
Um
I just
Oddly
want
enough, our most listened to podcast was our shortest one.
yeah. Well, who's got time for all this, right?
Yeah, really, nobody does.
I do want to point out because we are now on video, we were thinking about what the backgrounds could be. And so Marcelle's actually in her actual corner of her
Mhm.
actual room. It's a real
Yeah.
place because she
Remember
wanted to
this?
show us things. Yes. And you never like untangled it. You just let it go.
An
That's
epic
hilarious.
fail.
That's hilarious.
Epic fail.
But what this is from my breakfast nook. And that behind me is a beautiful basket, apples basket that's all carved out of a single piece of wood that Marcelle gave me when we were doing our book signing for our book, because the front of our book has an apple and a candy apple, and it is there filled with apples on my sideboard.
Love it.
And that's really, I didn't even stage this. I literally took this picture as I was eating my breakfast. I was like, oh, I need a background for our video. And so I grabbed, you could tell I didn't even move my one tangerine, my little cutie orange that was left.
I see that.
And there's like a coffee filter thing there. And these are all flowers from my show just opened. So everybody brought me flowers. It's very nice.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
So yeah.
When is the show running? Where is that?
Oh, so it's at J Stage, which is in Irvine, beautiful theater. And it runs 2 more weekends. It closes on May 4th. It closes the weekend of my birthday. And it runs on 2 shows Saturday, 1 show Sunday, this weekend and next weekend, and then it closes.
Yeah, in Southern California.
In Southern California, in Irvine, California. That's in Orange County. Yeah. A beautiful 500-seat theater there. Yeah, so it's kicking my butt. My back is killing me from wearing show shoes, which are, shoes that look great with your costume, but have zero support and are really bad for your hips and your knees and your back at my age and my weight. But I'm doing it anyway.
I'm sure it's wonderful. In a couple of weeks it'll be over, and
that's right. That's right. I'm still recovering. I'm spending a lot of time in my massage chair.
Right.
And bouncing on my rebounder, trying to get my joints all back together. So
that's awesome. Well,
anyway, well, this is our first video, but we plan to do it more often. So if you're usually listening to us, now you can actually watch us.
You can see us. Yeah. And before we sign off, I'm going to introduce a new segment called Name That Tool.
Oh my gosh. Well, open it up and let me see how it's a press of some sort. Open up the top. Let's see. Is it a grapefruit press? What's inside? I don't know. It's some kind of press. A meat press?
Maybe.
Does it have a ricer? Does it go through to the bottom?
No.
No. A juice press? Do you know what it is, or you do know
I
what
do.
it is? Okay.
This is my grandmother's. Every old tool looks like a torture device, but this was the actual juicer.
It was a juicer. I was right.
Juicer. And then you pour it out of that little spout right there.
That's adorable.
Yeah. So I have all my lemons. I'm going to make some lemonade, and I'm going to use this instead of my electric and see if I have the muscle to pull that off.
I love that. Well, it looks like it's pretty hefty, like it's enough weight to really squish down the citrus.
Solid. Yeah. There's even like an engraving on it.
It looks like it's got a little seed catcher in there. That little piece you pulled out. Was that a seed catcher? Yeah, that's
exactly.
I named it. I can't believe it. I got it right.
So thank you for playing Name That Tool.
Well, I'll have to look around and see if I can find something funky like that. I don't know if I have anything. I got rid of a lot of stuff.
Maybe next time.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us.
Yes, I'm going to remind everybody, Food Not Food is available, obviously, at Amazon, Book Soup, and booksellers everywhere. It's a lot of fun. So if you want to learn more, you can check that out.
Yes, our book, our podcast, you can get also our podcast is available on video now too, but also audio, Spotify, Audible, Amazon, all those places. iHeartRadio, I think it's on.
I'm not sure.
I think it's iHeart. I think I saw that somewhere. And the book, like you said, you can buy it online. You can buy it anywhere that books are sold. And we will keep talking about food, and we will always also be talking about
whatever we feel like talking about. Yeah, not food.
Everything else.
Oh, I was supposed to say not food.
Not food.
Okay.
But that's
do it again. Do it again.
Okay. All right. So, of course, we're always going to be talking about food and
not food.
Right. Which also includes everything else.
Right.
All right, everybody. Again, I'm Allison.
I'm Marcelle.
And
we'll see you again soon.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.